Well, the last year I felt like we accomplished one of our goals we set out, and that was to make the conference tournament. And throughout the course of league play, I thought there was great balance and great parity, and it came down to the last week, and we were fortunate enough to get a couple wins to put us into the conference tournament. Then having the opportunity to win a game in New Orleans was a real uplifting thing for our team and our program, and really kind of helped propel us into our spring and summer workouts. And the players are really excited about this season. We've had great practices early, and just look forward to another outstanding conference season. And I think it's going to be very competitive and well balanced.
Thank you very much, Coach Graves. Our first questions come from Dan McDonald with McD Media. Dan, please go ahead.
Morning, Coach. Can you talk a little bit about Ken Williams? He was a guy, he was a completely different player at the end of the year than he was at the start of the year last year.
I completely agree with you, Dan, and it's a great question. I think early in the season, Ken was really pressing. Obviously, we had graduated the year before Augustine Rubit, who's going to go down as one of the best players in Sun Belt history. And we lost shooting guard Antoine Allen and a forward Michael Ammons, and three key guys from that team. And I think Ken came into his sophomore year feeling a little bit extra pressure to perform, and maybe carried a little bit too much weight, for being in his sophomore year. And he just had to find his rhythm and relax, and we ended up bringing him off the bench a couple games before, right around the Christmas time, and he finally got back into his rhythm. And I think you would be fair to say throughout the conference season, he was one of the best 5 or 6 players in the whole league, especially the last month of the season, and we're certainly looking forward to big things from him as we head into this year. He's worked really hard in the off season to put his body in a position where he's going to be very durable. He's picked up about 5 to 7 pounds in the weight room, and his conditioning is much improved. So we're really excited about what is on the horizon for Ken.
You lost 2 pretty good rebounders in those 2 guys.
Yes.
Who's going to get the ball for you?
that remains to be the question. I think that's going to be the difference between us. We were picked 7th. I think that's going to be the difference between us being middle to back of the conference, or middle to top half of the league, is how well are we going to rebound the basketball. And again, it just doesn't go upon our bigs, our 4s and 5s, but our guards have to do a better job of rebounding. But I think clearly our strength is in our backcourt, and our guard play should be pretty good this year. We do have to limit our turnovers. We didn't do a very good job of that last year, but I think another year together, we've improved in that area. But I think the key to our whole season is going to be how well our front court plays, and I like our options. We're going to have 4 or 5 options to rotate in, and I think through the non-conference part of our schedule, it's going to be by committee, and hopefully as we get into the conference season after Christmas, we'll start to see some separation in that area.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Dan. We have time for one more question from Luke Johnson with The Advocate. Luke, please go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks, Luke. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm kind of asking around this question to a lot of coaches today. What was your reaction when you heard Sean Long was returning for his senior season, and in your opinion, what makes him so good on the court?
What do you want, my honest answer, I guess, when Sean's coming back? I think it's great that Sean's coming back to the league. Obviously, Coach Marlin, I'm sure, was ecstatic that he gets a instant double-double guy back in the lineup. But I just think it's overall for the league, I think it's really good. When you talk about Elfrid Payton a couple years ago, R.J. Hunter last year. Now you've got Sean Long, who's another guy that has an opportunity to be picked somewhere in the NBA, maybe first, second round draft pick. I think it really shows what kind of talent is in the Sun Belt. I think we need to continue to do a great job of putting that out there so people know just how talented of players there are in the Sun Belt. And I think certainly that's why they're the preseason favorite with him coming back.
Thank you very much, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luke, and thank you, Coach Graves. That's all the questions we have for you today. We appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
All right, thank you. You too.
Bye.